Hello, everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV Supernatural Podcast, Season 9, Episode 3. I'm No Angel. I'm your host, Dom, and with me I have Omikins.
Hi.
And minivan rider, Mike.
I hate you. I have never driven a minivan, nor do I ride in them often. But hello.
Often.
Ever. Oh God, no. Let's hop right into it. First question, please.
So, at the very end of the episode, Sam and Dean kind of have this awesome little sex talk with Castiel. Were they driving any minivans?
No, they weren't driving any minivans. That was just epic.
Well, I'm sure Castiel wouldn't have any idea what the hell he was doing, but he'd like it.
And poor Dean almost choked on the burrito he was eating when he heard that.
Yeah.
It's like, I was talking about sex. With just their faces, like, what?
See, that was my favorite part of the entire episode was that scene, and you had Dean look over. He goes, "Did you use protection?" Castiel's like, "I had my angel dagger with me."
I had my angel blade with me.
Does that count as protection?
That was horrible.
I had to pause the show because I was laughing. I was laughing way too hard. So
He had his angel blade.
He did. So all episode you see Castiel, rather, trying to adapt to being human. So other than that, what did you guys think was the funniest moment of him struggling with his humanity?
When he was in the homeless shelter bathroom with that other guy, and he was talking about taking a pee and how he could never get used to it.
You ever get tired with urinating? I don't think I'll ever get used to it. Just close the stall. Or I gotta say another good moment. He's sitting outside eating a can of beans or something, talking about how this guy was so generous, and he's like, "You're new to this, aren't you?" He goes, "New? Yep, you could say that. New to eating, sleeping, passing gas."
There's passing gas.
Just nonchalantly. Okay. New to passing gas.
Mm-hmm.
Never done it before.
How about when he was laying in bed with April and he's like, "Did I do it right?
Correct was the word.
Did I do it correctly?"
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was definitely some amazing Castiel moments this entire episode. I loved every single scene that Castiel was involved in.
I felt bad for him walking down the streets, and every time they showed a food cart, and he just looked like...
Yeah, but it was his own fault for walking down an Asian marketplace street.
True.
Mm-hmm.
But he needed a tattoo for cheap.
That's true.
He was warding himself off from the other angels and stuff so they couldn't locate him.
Yeah.
Because apparently now we have Bartholomew, who's replaced Naomi. He's leading a splinter faction of angels to try to find Castiel. Did you guys kind of get the impression that he may have been worse than Naomi?
I think he takes a different approach than Naomi.
But he's just as conniving.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what his end game is or his agenda is currently. The only thing that's really revealed is find Castiel and, I guess, find vessels for all of the vesselless angels floating about.
Yeah. So he was pretty much working directly with Reverend Buddy Boyle, and he's putting out a PSA for anybody to open themselves up to accept the angels into their lives, into themselves. People don't really have a clue what's going on, do they?
No, they're being religious. I don't want to say it because, I don't want to get in trouble, but they're just being religious and they want the grace to take over them. And they want to have this connection with God.
Yeah, the Reverend is disguising it under religious rhetoric and preaching and things like that. So it sounds
Yeah.
exactly like something you would hear from a preacher on any other given day. So to the rest of the public, it doesn't sound too crazy.
Commonly Sundays.
Yeah, and then you get the people who would volunteer to let an angel in, and unlike that one poor girl who was all ecstatic and happy, she exploded 10 seconds later because she couldn't contain it.
Yeah.
Funny little moment I have, like when pastor, reverend, whatever, was comparing it, like the lambs to a slaughter, and Bartholomew was like, yeah, whatever. Like, he didn't
He,
care.
quote,
It
he
didn't
quotes
matter.
he quotes a Bible verse to an angel, and the angel's like, yeah, totally that's
That's totally it.
I
Definitely.
totally know what you're talking about.
Definitely chuckled at that one. That was great.
Mm-hmm.
So, you think possibly Bartholomew's whole agenda, like his reason for doing this, is he may be in league with Metatron?
No.
Because if he was in league with Metatron, he'd be Metatron's like right hand man. He would know that Castiel is human, which they have no idea about. None of the angels know.
But does Metatron know that he's human?
Yeah,
Yes.
Metatron was the one that stole his grace.
Metatron cut his grace out of him to cast that spell that made all the angels fall in the first place. So Metatron knows, Cass knows, and Dean and Sam know, and anybody who spends more than 10 minutes with, actually more than 30 seconds with Cass will figure it out pretty damn quick that he's
Was that
human.
Was that a stamina joke for Castiel?
No, actually it
Um,
wasn't. She enjoyed it, it seems, and she said he did it
All
correct.
30 seconds of it.
Sure.
Huh.
Poor April.
They
I
did
don't know.
cut to a different scene pretty quickly, so maybe that gives you some indication.
See, I thought they were setting up a love interest for Castiel, and I was like, wow, this is rather quick for this. Like, were you guys thinking the same thing at first before before shit hit the fan?
At first, I thought, well, that was nice of her. Give him a sandwich. Where the hell did she come from anyway? Oh, she works there. And then she comes out, and I'm like, all right, how's this going to go over? And then it's like all of a sudden he's back at her place. I'm like, whew. Stop here a second. You live in a big city. First, it was Detroit, right? Yeah, it was Detroit.
Yeah.
You live in Detroit. Here's a homeless guy. You're a single young white girl. You invite the homeless guy in to your apartment to stay the night. How do you know that he is not an axe murderer, a rapist, a psycho loony, any of the above? I mean,
Well,
he could just be a down on his luck, normal, nice, well-adjusted guy who just had a rough time, and you're doing a great thing for him. Or he could be psychotic.
You
don't
are
know.
branding Detroit as this horrible place where it can happen anywhere.
No, I'm saying you're in Detroit.
Especially Canada.
I'm not
Oh, yeah,
trying
Canada's
to brand.
horrible.
I'm not trying to brand Detroit as a horrible place. I'm saying you're in Detroit, as in you're in a big city. It's like I would say the same way if you're in Los Angeles, you're in Atlanta, you're in New York City, and you're just going to take a random homeless guy into your apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Struck me as a little odd.
Yeah, me
And
too.
then all of a sudden, they're there for not even 10 minutes, and she's making out with the guy. Like,
What I don't get, I noticed when I was watching, she's leaving. Was she leaving her workplace or was she leaving her apartment with the umbrella?
her workplace.
Okay, then it makes sense that she brought him home with her. Because I was like, if she's leaving her apartment with her umbrella, and then all of a sudden they're back at their... Where was she going in the first place?
Yeah. No, but then it turns out that she's revealed she's actually a Reaper.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah?
And she's in it to kill Castiel, and she had to try to get information out of him. Castiel bargains with her and says that he's the reason why, everybody knows he's the reason why the angels were cast out of heaven, but what she and the others don't realize it's that the final ingredient for the spell was that Castiel's grace was to be taken, and he very well may be the key to restoring it by putting his grace back where it belongs. Do you think that's the case? Is Castiel going to be the key to this?
Probably.
It seems like a simple concept, yes, but I think getting his grace back to him and back in him is a little bit more complicated than that.
Well, here's the question: how are they going to do that? What if it was used up in the spell because the spell needed that item? So his grace could just be gone.
Yeah.
So
could, but I kind of have a feeling that we haven't seen the last of Angel Cass.
Oh no.
Oh no, we definitely haven't. They'll make him an angel again somehow.
Yeah. We even have this little moment with Castiel where he's in the church, he just sits down, he's relaxing, this woman does a open prayer, and Castiel kind of questions her on it and tries to tell her the truth, what's actually going up there in heaven. But she's a firm believer that faith supersedes anybody else's truth. And Castiel just kind of sat there after she left. He's in deep thought. So how do you think that had an effect on Castiel in terms of his opinion on heaven?
It was more like his opinion on humans and what they're capable of. You know, he knows they're weak now, but being human is more than just survival. They need like a motivation to keep going and accomplish what they want. The same way that Sam and Dean go forward being hunters and they want to save the world, then other humans aren't that much different. They just don't want to save the world. They want to get what they want, I guess, what they need.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we see Dean is kind of struggling a bit with Sam and Ezekiel kind of fighting for consciousness. Do you think Dean's gonna just kind of give up and tell his brother what's going on at some point soon?
Not till he's sure that Sam's fully healed. Because if he lets the cat out of the bag too early, then Sam's could or is going to die.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want that to happen. So, I mean, Sam seems pretty good, but then again, he's got an angel possessing him, healing him at the moment, so he probably feels like a zillion bucks. And he went out for a friggin' run, and he got Dean breakfast, his favorite, with extra grease and the whole thing, the whole shebang there.
Yeah.
So he's feeling pretty damn good.
You never know. Sam might be okay with it. Being like, once Dean explains to him that he was almost dead and that, I know, the first episode he wanted to just die. But Sam might be like, okay, I can see why you fought for me. So maybe Sam might, pass that aside and Ezekiel might play a bigger part further on and, actually help them out, kind of like Cass did in his own vessel.
Yeah, because you saw Sam, what was it, not this episode, but the episode before, where he was preaching about how happy he finally was for the first time in a long time, and everywhere around him he looks, he sees family and friends, and he's really appreciating his life.
Yeah.
At the same time, that kind of, to me, feels it's an influence by Ezekiel that's within him, and it's not something that Sam has really appreciated when they've had it in the past. I don't know if it's because of at the point that they're at and they've lost Bobby, they've lost people that are close to them, that he's now realizing it's time to appreciate that stuff, or if it has to do with angel influence within him.
So if it's angel influence and Ezekiel leaves, how's Sam gonna feel? Is he gonna go back to a dark, depressed self?
I think because of the nature in which Sam is going to find out, it's not going to be Ezekiel just leaves unbeknownst to Sam, having ever been there. Sam is definitely going to know that Ezekiel was in him by the time that he's ready to come out. And because of that, that's going to influence this in a way that we can never be certain how this would have played out. But
what's gonna happen, and I'm just calling this now, Sam's gonna get just about healed and then find out Ezekiel's in him. He's gonna freak out because Sam's been possessed by demons before. Hated it. Sam's been possessed by angels before. The devil. Well, archangel, whatever. So he's, gonna flip out, deny Ezekiel. Ezekiel's gonna screw off, and then Sam's gonna be laying there dying, and Dean is gonna have to find another way to save his brother. What the hell are you doing?
I'm writing down. You're calling it. Documentation.
All right, go for it.
I'm calling it.
I have to pick the book up again.
Yeah, pick it up. You ready to write? At some point, by the end of this season, Dean
will have eaten a bacon cheeseburger?
will blink.
All right. Got it. Onward. Drop the pen.
I love that face palm. That was epic. That was an epic face palm right there.
I'm just going to pretend that there was like super glue on my hand and then it's stuck.
Perfect. So we have the very, very end of the episode. We have Ezekiel. When Cass finally comes in and gets into the Men of Letters, he starts really appreciating once again what he's got for him. He's appreciating the water pressure and the food and various things like that. And Ezekiel kind of snaps in right after that awkward sex talk moment. And he pretty much gives him an ultimatum. And he's like, it's either me or Cass. The angels are going to become looking for Cass. They're going to hunt him down. Ezekiel does not want to be anywhere near when that happens. So Cass is kind of not clued in at all. He's left in the dark on this. And Dean says, Cass, I'm sorry, but you can't stay. You got to go.
And Cass just looks heartbroken.
How do you think Cass is going to react to that now that he's human?
It matters if Dean just says get the hell out or he explains it to him. So I'm pretty sure if he's gonna be heartbroken whether he gets explained to or not, but once he realizes what's gonna happen and that, Sam's in jeopardy, that he might be like, all right, I just need a little help getting on the way out the door. I don't want to leave, but I'm gonna have to.
So do you think Ezekiel here is still the good guy, or do you think this is his diabolical plan to remove Castiel from the picture?
It's possible.
It's possible. I think there's some underlying reason. Like, there's definitely something up with him, between him and other angels that he doesn't want coming to light right now.
Yeah. Because he doesn't want to be found out. So if they knew who he was, they'd be like, infiltrate a little bit more. But he does not want to be found at all.
Right. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That pretty much covers that. So next week, is it next week? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We have Slumber Party. Is the name of the episode.
Slumber Party.
Seems like it would be a better name for this last episode. Cass was enjoying his slumber party, but seems like this is going to be one of those one-off episodes that kind of detour from the main storyline, and they're just kind of there for fun. That's the impression I get off the title here. So, what are you guys' thoughts on that?
They're all going to wear their PJs and have a pillow fight?
Do they have
yes.
feety pajamas with the flap in the back?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
No, I heard from the rumor mill that Felicia Day is going to be in the next episode.
Ooh.
Hmm. don't know how that ties in with the title of the next episode, but I heard she's going to be in the next one.
You could have a slumber party with Felicia Day. Have some pillow fights.
You would.
Mm-hmm.
So would you.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, you would. There'd be feathers flying.
You wouldn't have
I
a
would
pillow
play
fight?
retro. No, I would be the girl on the couch with Felicia Day playing retro video games.
While
Okay.
having a pillow fight.
That'd be very difficult.
But totally possible.
And entertaining.
Maybe.
They're retro video games. There's not a whole lot to them.
Nah.
There's the D-pad and the buttons. You gotta, both hands. So unless we're swinging the pillows with our mouth and our teeth, we're not gonna really accomplish anything.
Yep.
So, Umi, where can the people find you playing video games, retro video games with Felicia Day?
Well, nowhere, unfortunately.
But if this was a thing, where would the people be able to find this?
On Twitter, at LadyVenom24, LadyVenom 24.
And Mike, where can people watch you drive the minibus, the minivan?
On Twitter at Thilladren, Thilladren.
And you can follow us on youtube.com/ASOTV podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows that involve no minivans at all.
And if they do, Phil will be driving.
I just need to rename it the Soccer Mom.